All right, everyone. I here to give you my review of the WWE Network special um called Dusty Rhodes Celebrating the Dream. Um Now I'm a little bit emotional, kind of. Um so if I'm having trouble speaking, that's probably why. Um for anyone that doesn't know by now, last Thursday, Dusty Rhodes ended up passing away. Um He passed away due to kidney failure, and he took a wild fall, and I guess he passed away from it. It's kind of sad. He was 69 years old though, and he got to live a nice long life, and I'm happy about that. And something that's just making me really happy right now is that the WWE is doing a great job paying tribute to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, baby. Um, and I'm really happy about that. Dusty Rhodes, I feel like he really had a close relationship with the WWE. I feel like that he loved professional wrestling no matter what it was. Um, he gave all his heart for the WWE, and I'm really happy that the WWE is paying tribute to him with this and everything. I'm really happy about it. Um, so I'm just gonna kind of jump right into this. Um, so this thing was hosted by Jerry the King Lawler. Um, I think he was a fine person to do it since he's been, in the ring with Dusty Rhodes, and he really got to go know Dusty Rhodes. Um, and he does talk here and there, and I'm not really gonna go into everything he says. This is probably gonna be very out of order, but um, it's hard for me to remember everything. I just finished watching this thing, so they talk about his childhood. How he was the son of a plumber, and that's actually true. His father was 7 feet tall, and he was a plumber, and he would always work with his father throughout the summertime. It would be like the first day of summer, he would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work with his father, and he didn't really do plumbing. He was like an errand boy, pretty much, got the ice and stuff like that. And he said that he didn't want his father would always tell him not to be a plumber. That was his father's job. He wanted him to find something that Dusty Rhodes was good at, which I was happy about. And then Dusty Rhodes, his father coached what's it called, minor league baseball, and they played baseball as a kid. And his father was a huge baseball fan, and his father really wanted Dusty Rhodes to be a baseball player. Wanted him to go to the to play baseball. But then one night, Dusty Rhodes went to a professional wrestling event, and he ended up you know liking it. He liked all the moves they were doing. He thought that would be something cool that he could do. So he said every night he would put his brother in tights, and he would grab the hoses. He would grab some hoses and use them as like to set up like the four sides of the ring. And he'd have his sister sell tickets, and Dusty Rhodes would wrestle his brother like every Saturday or something. I think that's kind of a really awesome story. Um and Yeah, I think that's really awesome. And then he got into wrestling. I think he ended up training with Tully Blanchard, and he picked it up really quickly. He said, and he felt like that he didn't really need to you know really need to train anymore. But Tully Blanchard was telling him he has to pay his dues, and that's exactly what he did. And what ended up happening was Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, Dusty Rhodes ended up kind of going all over, going to Kansas and stuff like that, going all over the world in wrestling, and you would get paid $700, and that was really a lot, I guess, at that time, and especially for him, and he ended up going into wrestling. Originally he was gonna go into the NFL, which stands for National Football League, but he liked the wrestling. He got famous really quickly, and then he ended up joining a tag team with himself and Dick Murdoch, and they were a heel tag team. They were a really awesome tag team, and they brought over his heels and people like Triple H, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and among other superstars that I can't remember their names off the top of my head. Talked about that. Gerald Briscoe, um, and I thought that was kind of nice stuff. They said some nice things like how they acted that way. Also outside the ring, and they were really good at being heels, and they were a really good tag team. Anytime you worked with them, got you learned something. So I liked that. And then they talk about how he broke his face, and the fans really started to get connected with Dusty Rhodes, and how he won his first ever World Heavyweight Championship. He won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, which stands for the National Wrestling Alliance. He won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship from Harley Race, and Harley Race talked about how it was great to work with him, and he said it was a nice moment to for him to hold it, and all the fans really connected with them. Anytime Dusty Rhodes, well, he didn't say this, but other people did. Anytime Dusty Rhodes bled, the fans bled. Anytime he was happy, they were happy. Anytime he cried, they cried. They really connected with Dusty Rhodes, and they showed some interview segments too with the fans talking about how they would always look forward to seeing Dusty Rhodes the most, and they talked about this match that they did with him and superstar Billy Graham, because they were doing the territories then, where Eddie Graham um, owned the South Territory, or one of the territories, and Vince McMahon Sr. Owned the North American territory. So him and Eddie made a deal, and they did this match, and it was a match that drew a lot of money, and it was a big match. It happened in Madison Square Garden. It was for the Worldwide Wrestling, which is WWF championship, and it was really good stuff. And it drew a lot of money. Everybody was connected with it, and it was awesome. And to be honest with you, I remember seeing this match, and I remember I felt something special when I saw this match. One, it was good in-ring rise, and I just felt like it was a big deal because the crowd was really into this match, and even though I didn't know the history behind this match, I did feel like a connection when I saw this match. Um, so then Dusty Rhodes did that, and then he went on, had talked, and people, and Stephanie McMahon talked about how she always how what Dusty Rhodes meant to her. How he always wanted to work a program with Stephanie McMahon, so they referred to that in-ring segment they did in 2013, and they really liked it. They really liked doing it, and Dusty Rhodes enjoyed it, and he was happy about it. And she said that she wished she could have let him know, tell him how much she loved him, and what he meant to the wrestling business, because he meant a lot to the wrestling business, and I really enjoyed that. And then we talk about his program with Tully Blanchard, how he won the championship from him, and how he cut amazing promos on him, and he felt like that they drew a lot of money when they went out there, and I thought that was fine. And John Cena cuts his promo talking about how he was one of the best talkers in the WWE. And I thought that was really good. And then they talk about they show a clip of when Maria Menounos was doing his imitation of him when he cut that promo, and Ric Flair talking about how Ric Flair was trying to put him on hard times and all that, and I just love watching that. And they talk about his feud with Ric Flair. Ric Flair talked about how they drew a lot of money anytime they wrestled each other, and they had that in-ring chemistry. And they talked about how when he won the championship, It was a big deal. Everybody connected with him, and they showed that match, that steel cage match that they had. Um, I think I posted that match on Facebook. Um, and they also talked about how Dusty Rhodes made Ric Flair a star. He feels like that if without this program with Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair wouldn't be who he is today. And he said that he Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, their relation, no one's gonna ever have their relationship, and again, professionally and personally, and well, wait, yeah, business wise and personal wise, I should say, um, and I can see that totally being true, and they talked about too how Dusty Rhodes said that had said something to Flair before the matches sometimes, and yeah, Dusty Rhodes. The Ric Flair even said that Dusty Rhodes was better than him. You know, as much as Ric Flair wants to admit, sometimes wants to say that he's better than him, he doesn't believe it. You know, he believed that Dusty Rhodes is better than him, and he says that now that he's gone, he realizes how much he meant to him, and I think that's what happens in life. You know, when somebody really close to you dies, you don't realize how important they are to you until they're gone. You know, and I've felt that experience kind of before. Um, and it just kind of takes a blow on you, you know. So then they talked about when he went into the WWF, World Wrestling Federation, and they gave him the polka dots gimmick, and he got it over, and everyone was talking about it. Bobby the Brain Heenan was talking about it, and he looks so different. By the way, I really like the way he doesn't. He looks like he's healthy and stuff like that. He just looks so different than he did back then. Obviously, because he's older, but I didn't picture him looking like that. Um, and they said there was probably a rib on Dusty Rhodes, which it probably was, but Dusty Rhodes made it work, and I liked it. And then they gave him the manager Sapphire, who had a lot of charisma and stuff like that, and he made that work, so I enjoyed that. Um, and Sapphire definitely was trying to ruin him, but I thought Dusty Rhodes did seem like he got the polka dots gimmick over, and I loved it. Um, and then he talks about how he ended up becoming working behind the scenes with WCW, World Championship Wrestling, WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, and NXT. Um, and before they also show him first get it inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he gets inducted by Dustin Rhodes, also known as Gold Dust, and Cody Rhodes, and Dustin says that this is the man that he inspired to be, and Cody Rhodes says that family was important to them because every time that Cody Rhodes ate something, anytime he went to school, he knew that Dusty Rhodes was on the road for them, and really enjoyed that. And they show him coming out. I really liked that, and then Dust you know they talk about how Triple H talks about how family was important to Dusty Rhodes. He really cared about family, and he not only looked, as a grandfather and as a child, but he also looked at the NXT superstars as their children. He called them their NXT children, and the NXT children looked at Dusty Rhodes like a father. Um, and he really liked teaching the NXT students. He always had something to say about them. He would always pull them back anytime he had a story to tell, just to give them advice or just to comment on what they were doing. Um, and he liked to call like the little performance center their like learning tree, and Dusty Rhodes was the oak of it. And some superstars talk about it. Seth Rollins talks about how he had faith in him, and he says that he would probably never be a superstar if Dusty Rhodes didn't push him. Well, like didn't I'm just in loss for words. I'm sorry. Didn't like have faith in him and stuff like that. Charlotte even says that she definitely said he helped her improve, and she was crying too. Kalisto, um, John Cena talks about how he was very charismatic in the beginning of this thing too. Vince McMahon even talked about how he oozed charisma. Um, And yeah, Stephanie McMahon says that she wished that she could have told him how much he meant to her before she died. Um, and Renee Young, he had a story with Renee Young when she looked like crap for an event, and he said that you look like. Well, he didn't say it. He said it nicely, like you don't look good. You should dress better. And I thought that was really good. Um, and Dusty Rhodes, and then they play the video package for him, and they talk about some, and they show more superstars like Summer Rae, Eva Marie. He said that he welcomed her with open arms when she came in. Um, and that was pretty much the end of the thing. I know, and this review is just very. I'm at a loss for words, but it's just I still can't believe Dusty Rhodes is gone. But I don't want to look at it as a sad thing. I want to just kind of remember the nice moments of Dusty Rhodes, you know. And I've talked about these nice moments before in my Money in the Bank review, which they did show in this thing too. The story that Booker T told. Um, you know, I talked about it in the actual video itself when I gave my thoughts on him passing away. I'm talking about it. I talked about it in my Raw review, and I'm talking about it now. Um, and just everything about Dusty Rhodes. Every time I saw Dusty Rhodes, I always got a smile on his face. Not gonna lie, I always kind of felt, even though I didn't grow up watching him, I kind of feel like a kid watching him. Because I kind of was, when I first got into wrestling, I was a kid, and he came in and did that program with Randy Orton, and I did meet him as a kid. But to be honest with you, he just kind of makes you feel like a kid, you know? He makes wrestling seem fun. He makes you feel happy to watch wrestling when he comes out. Um, And I don't want to focus on the sad things. You know, it sucks he's gone. You know, I still can't believe he's gone, actually. This is kind of hitting me pretty hard in a way, you know? But I want to focus on how much he's touched other people's life. You know, he touched Maria Menounos' life, and she's not even in the company, but she's touched her life. I hear he's touched Maria Menounos' boyfriend's um, life. And, you know, he's probably touched trying to think who else's life he's touched because I just got lost my train of thought. Um, he touched everyone that all the NXT superstars' life, even Kevin Owens' life that he didn't even know. Kevin Owens didn't really know him that long, you know. Um, you know, and I just feel like that's what I want to think about it. How many people's lives he's touched. You know, I have a feeling he's probably touched some people out of the wrestling business, like I said, Maria Menounos, but probably among others, maybe like someone in the NFL, someone in the NBA. And when I think about Dusty Rhodes, every time I hear that theme song, it was I thought that theme song fit him really well. Um, and I just know Dusty Rhodes, he was in a job that he loved, and I just feel like that he loved living his life. He lived the life the way he wanted to. And, you know, Dusty Rhodes, I think, is is probably one of the greatest, in the business. I'm not saying that because he's dead. I kind of feel that way, because he's definitely one of the greatest talkers. Just the intensity that he had when he would talk, and he had a great mind for the business. Um, some of the stuff with the booking of NXT was Dusty Rhodes, and he really made NXT really good, worth watching. And like I said, I read online that he's the one that when the reason WrestleMania was created is because Dusty Rhodes created Starrcade, and and Vince McMahon wanted to compete with Starrcade, so he made WrestleMania. And if you think about it, if it wasn't for Dusty Rhodes, we wouldn't have WrestleMania today. Um, so to be honest with you, I'm not really gonna. It does suck that he's gone, but I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna think about the good things of Dusty Rhodes. I'm gonna think about the people's lives he's touched because I feel like he's definitely touched my life. Um, and I'm happy about this. Well, I'm happy like that I got to know Dusty Rhodes. Um, good night. it was a yeah, but I'm happy I got to know Dusty Rhodes. This is what being a wrestling fan is worth, to know people like Dusty Rhodes, um, a good man, you know. So this is why I'm happy that I've decided that I'm a wrestling fan, um, and yeah. So I'm not gonna look at it as a negative, you know, negative. I'm just gonna think about the legacy that he left. And Dusty, wherever you are, I hope you enjoy. You know, you're in a good place. And I know that you're probably dropping some bubonic elbows on some people up there, and I am happy for you. Um, and me, I think it's heaven, but I don't know where everybody else, you know, where their religion lies. So that's that. But I am gonna end this video off because and this is gonna be the final time that I talk about Dusty Rhodes. Um, so Dusty, you know what I'm gonna do for the final for the sake of it, I am gonna try to do the Dusty Rhodes impression. If I suck at it, it is what it is. And we're gonna try this. You know, baby, my name. I feel like that I've lived my life the way I live, and I've influenced people's lives. And those guys on NXT, I want them to bust their asses. And oh yeah, I can't do the Dusty Rhodes impression. I'm sorry, I just can't. Um, but I tried. It's just I guess not in my nature to do the Dusty Rhodes impression. But I want to thank Dusty Rhodes, you know, for just being a great guy, and you know, for some of the memories that I'm gonna have of Dusty Rhodes, and I just want to thank him. Um, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna close this video out. And I want you guys to click down in the left hand corner right here to subscribe, and I want you guys to leave your thoughts and comments the um about the impact that Dusty Rhodes has had on you guys. And that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.